passed the ball from the Chicago Sun-Times. What were your conversations like with Teaspoon and Jeff, if at all, leading up to the draft? And did you have an expectation that they were going to select you with that 13th pick?
Yeah, I was able to get on a Zoom call with Jeff, and he kind of walked me through what would happen if they drafted me, what they were looking for. So I knew they were an option. And then the draft came. I knew I was a chance I was going to get drafted by them, and I went 13th, and it's all from there. But I got on the phone with Coach Spoon and them right after the draft, and they're just an awesome staff. I'm really looking forward to playing for them.
And then just a quick follow-up, the reality of making a roster in the W it's a challenge. Mm-hmm. But your skill set is something that the Sky need to fill here. So coming into training camp, what is your approach, knowing that, again, you provide a very valuable skill set, but also you're going to be competing against some vets for one of those roster spots? Yeah,
I mean, this whole team is good. We got a lot of talent. It's basically a new roster, but there is quite a bit of talent on that team. But I know I have, my shot is a pretty unique shot, and I provide some offense that they're lacking, they need. And there's, everyone's fighting for a spot. And there's, like I said, there's a lot of good players. So we'll see how it shakes out, but I do think that, I have a chance of making this. Mm-hmm.
This is obviously such a quick turnaround from the end of the NCAA season to getting drafted to having you out here. Just kind of what have the last few weeks looked like, and have you been able to kind of fit in any draft specific and then training camp specific workouts? Like, just what does that look like to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a whirlwind. I think as soon as the season ended, I gave myself a couple days, but since then I've just been working my tail off, just trying to get ready for training camp. And I got here on Sunday, I think, and been in the gym ever since. And I love doing it, so it's really not work for me. It's just more just to hang out in the gym for 4 hours.
I know you've been in the gym a lot. Have you gotten to see much of Chicago outside of that? Get into any of the touristy stuff, or is it just all ball right now?
No, I've been able to go to downtown a little bit. It's really pretty. We drove around Lake Michigan, got to see the river walk. It's a really beautiful city, and I'm excited to maybe go to a Cubs game or something and just check it out a little bit more. Hi, how are you?
Good. I think the art of movement off the ball and being able to shoot off of high volume of movement is something that's kind of getting lost in the weeds with the evolution of basketball. Can you just kind of speak to how important it still is, and how that's like an identifying marker for you to put a stamp on your space in the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's at the level where if you just stay still, you're not going to get open, no matter what anyone else is on the court. So just being able to make cuts, change speeds, set screens for teammates, and then make those reads is just crucial if you want to get your shots off, if you want to get the ball in your hands and make plays.
And just kind of looking at your college career at BYU and then obviously at Utah as well, it's different types of systems, but I think there's different principles that translate to the W for you. Can you just kind of speak to what you learned from maybe each situation that you'll be able to apply to your career?
Yeah. Utah and Gonzaga, they're very different. They're very different programs, but they're each really good at their system teams. So they find people that work in their system. So I think I really learned how to adapt and play within a system and play with a lot of great players. At Gonzaga, we've had another teammate that got drafted, and 4 out of the 5 all 5 are very good players. So yeah, just being able to work in a system and play off of that, and being able to have a lot of scores on your team I think is really translatable to the WNBA.
Yeah, Gonzaga.
Same row, front row.
Hey, Brynna, I know we talked the other day about how excited we were about Ty Young and Teaspoon being here, but now they've announced the rights of Robin Parks, having another shooter in the building alongside Brynna Maxwell, obviously Dana Evans. Who are you most excited to learn from and just be exposed overall in training camp?
Gosh, I can't pick which one. I mean, there's so many that have so much knowledge, and like everyone's been in the league at least a couple of years, so they have more experience than me, and they know things, and I feel like every day I'm learning about 50 new things, and it's awesome. I really feel like I've grown as a player, but they're all super smart. I can't wait to see them on the court. They're pretty good. They're pretty good people.
And then I know you said you're hoping to go to a Cubs game soon. Does that mean you picked a side?
Well, I was told because I live on the north side, I have to be a Cubs fan. So I'm a Cubs fan.
One more person? All right, we'll go to Zoom. We'll start with Carly Bell, then we'll go to Candace.
Hi, Brynna. Nice to meet you virtually. I'm Carly Bell with Marquee Sports Network. When you were drafted, Jeff Pagliacca called you the best shooter in the country. What does that statement mean to you, and what do you think you saw in your offensive game that led to that type of compliment?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that means a lot coming from, you know, a great staff, and these guys know what they're talking about. You're going to see this year how smart this staff is. But yes, so credit to them on that part. But, you know, I think what sets me apart is the way I can get my shot off in any way, either off the dribble, off the move, off the catch, and with any footwork, whatever's needed. And I have a pretty quick release. So I think being able to do that consistently at a high percentage, at a high clip, is what kind of sets me apart from others.
And then just to follow up, obviously, you know, whether or not make the roster is still to be determined. But when you look at this staff, Weatherspoon, C-Rod, Ty Young, there's a lot of people on the coaching staff that have had WNBA experience. Regardless of whether or not you make the roster, what are some things that you really want to learn and gain from being with this coaching staff over the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, I just think this staff has a ton of knowledge, and you know, everything they say is just like they're dropping a gem. And I just wish I had a notepad to write it all down, because they're super intense but also super encouraging, which is a great combination. You know, obviously Coach Spoon is one of the greatest players of all time, so being able to hear everything she has to say, I think I'm going to learn a lot as a player. And there's everyone on this staff, like there's no person who doesn't know what they're talking about. Everyone has experience. Everyone's been in my shoes and been that way before. So just trying to soak up everything I can.
Thank you.
We'll go to Candace.
Hey Brynna, very nice to meet you. Candace Pedraza with Insider. I was just curious your thoughts and feelings on joining such a storied franchise, you know, just very recently won a WNBA championship, while also having the potential of joining a new young core with this franchise, being a part of a draft class that included Phil Cardoso, Angel Reese, as well as yourself. Just your thoughts on the potential of being a part of that new young core, a new young face for such a historic and storied franchise.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, another Gonzaga alum, Courtney Vandersloot, was a huge part of that championship, and it's really cool to have a chance to be a part of another run at it. Yeah, we have a lot of new pieces. There's a couple of returners, but it's mostly a bunch of new faces. So, you know, we're the underdogs in this league, but I think we're gonna kind of surprise a few people if we put it all together.
Just a really quick follow-up. I was just curious about any conversations you've had with the coach, Therese Weatherspoon, since being drafted, and just how you guys have connected so far since being drafted.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great coach. I've had some conversation with her during practice. We were kind of joking around after practice today too. She's awesome. She knows what she's talking about. You got to be locked in at all times or she'll get on you, which is awesome. But yeah, I can tell she's going to be a really good coach.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Candace. We'll go to Jason and then AJ. Jason first.
Hey, Brynna, Jason Ross Jr. from the Chicago Sky. Nice to meet you and welcome to Chicago. Start off by asking whether it's college, WNBA, or NBA, you pick a favorite shooter to watch and study with that.
That's a good question. Honestly, growing up, I grew up in Portland, Oregon, so I've been a Trailblazers fan. So I would say, like, if we're talking about NBA, I would say CJ McCollum, just because of his footwork. His footwork is next level. It's crazy. He can get shots off anywhere, pull-ups anywhere, and his footwork is insane. And then college, I grew up. I think Allie Quigley, just for WNBA, she is a great shooter. She's a great player here. I think you're all familiar with that name. But it's money every time.
Those are some great choices. Okay, I'll stick with the theme of names that you brought up as well in the past. You said Courtney Vandersloot, of course, ties to Gonzaga, Pacific Northwest, and the Sky. I'm curious, I know you noted you played for Utah as well, but did she play a role at all in why you chose to transfer to Gonzaga?
She did not, but I did get to meet her my first year there, and because she had a jersey retirement, and she's just an awesome person, really good basketball player. I think she played pickup with some of the coaches, and she's just an amazing passer.
That's awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Lastly, we'll go to AJ on Zoom. AJ?
Hey Brynna, AJ Howell, SWX. Can you kind of detail what role Gonzaga played in preparing you to play for the next level?
Yeah, I think they have a system, and they really recruit people for their systems. And, you know, we had 4 fifth-year seniors and another senior on our team, and all of them could score 20 points a night. So being able to be in a role where you're not shooting high-volume shots, like you have to make the shots you get because everyone's going to be getting these shots, was super helpful in preparing me for this. You had to learn to be efficient and high percentage. And I think that's something I learned a lot at Utah as well as Gonzaga. Just being able to be a system player and be able to take what defense gives me.
Following up, what did it mean to you not only to get drafted, but to be drafted along with one of your close friends and teammates, Kayla Shaw?
I think I might have been more excited for her to get drafted than me. I mean, I was like celebrating, and then I saw her name come across, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Lynn!" And that was really cool. It's just it's such a great draft. I think we both probably expected to be picked, but there's just so many good players in this draft this year. You just never know. But it was really cool to have a Chicago Sky pick me. I'm really honored they believed in me, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Brynna. Good luck.
Thanks to folks on Zoom. We'll circle back with in-person follow-ups.
You mentioned some of your fellow rookies. I'm just curious. We know Camilla doesn't get back in town for another day or two, but have you and Angel gotten to mix in together on the court yet, and just kind of what conversations have you guys had?
I just saw her for the first time about 5 minutes ago from her press conference. I think she just got here, but she seems awesome. I can't wait to meet her because I never got to play against her, so I'm excited to play with her.
Yeah, and then when you look at those two front court players, I feel like a guard, one of the best things is to be able to have some of those high-level front court players to play off of. So just kind of how do you look at both Camilla and Angel as potential future teammates, and how do you think that maybe they could help to elevate what you bring to the Sky and just to the game in general?
Yeah, they're great post players. I think Angel Reese might be the best rebounder I've ever seen. They're just they're exceptional, and it's really cool to be in the same rookie class as them. What they do is I kind of stretch the floor, and that leaves them open. And those rebound kickouts are pretty fun threes. So we'll see. I think they get the rebounds. I'll be spotting up. We'll see what happens.
For those of us who are just getting introduced to you for the first time, to your game for the first time, what do you think is valuable for us to know about who you are, the player that you are?
Yeah, I think what my game is just, yes, I shoot the ball. I think that's what I'm known for, is just any type of shots, off the dribble, off the move, off the catch, deep. But I also can get into a pull-up. I think what you guys see is a really quick trigger, a really fast release, and then I like to take charges, so we'll see if I can get a couple.
We'll end front row on the right.
And then just one more quick follow-up, kind of in the same vein as the last question. As far as your skill, outside of the shooting and the cutting and all of the things you do with the ball, are there other transferable skills that you feel like will stand out for people that are, like she said, getting out of the game?
Yeah, I think what you touched on earlier is my off-ball movement. I learned a lot, especially at Gonzaga, how to space the floor and kind of distract the D or drag the defense out, so I can find open spots. I think I get into my pull-up, both hands either direction, step backs, off the dribble stuff, and I think my off-ball defense is something else too.
What about your pick and roll play?
Yeah.
Like where you at with that specific context right now too, or are you trying to still evolve with it?
Yeah, we're working on that. We'll see what happens in there.
Awesome. Thank you, Brynna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brynna.